All right, what is good? Let me move this back up. So that's not too much of a shot there. All right. That'll probably. That looks dirty. All right. Let's turn this down here. All right. Send this to the Telegram. All right. How's it going? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you doing, bro? How are you doing? I had a good weekend. Got a lot done yesterday. And ready to just get active this week. We got a lot of great moves. I'm actually gonna get started here. With the breakdowns that I'm looking for this week. So, I'm really excited. We have, like I said, a lot of great moves this week that we can expect to see following all the volume that we had last week. What's good? What's good? What's good? Waiting to see how this week starts. Yeah, got a lot of good moves that I'm looking for. What's good, Christian? What's good, Xavier? What's good? What's good? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the breakdown. So we're gonna go through this really quick of what I'm expecting for this week, what we could potentially be seeing from this week. And we're gonna start with the DXY. So let's start on the daily time frame with the DXY. Following the CPI news, we had an extremely bullish DXY daily, and then it closed bullish. As you can see, we had just created new highs, breaking these previous previous structures here and here in the past weeks. We formed a corrective structure. You can tell because we had this impulsive move up. We had an impulsive move up, 3 candles, a corrective structure, a slow move to the downside, and now what we've seen following CPI is now another impulsive move to the upside, and it's likely that the dollar goes ahead and creates a new high, breaking for this high here at 107.36 levels. So we're relatively expecting the dollar to be bullish, and the smaller time frame structure also indicates a potential bullish move here for the DXY. We can see the DXY have been creating lower lows and lower highs on the 1 hour time frame. We then had highs taken out here, indicating a change of character, a change of trend direction. All of these highs being taken out. You can see now that we had a corrective structure formed for the DXY, and we could potentially see a steeper move down for a continued push up to push into this key level of supply on the daily time frame. So this is what I would overall look for the dollar, and I will not be looking to sell the dollar until we get, potentially breaks of these lows or these lows here, the previous key 1 hour low. That would indicate a change of character, a change of structure, and we could potentially see this imbalance get filled. Not my first setup, but we always want to go with if this statements. And if this doesn't continue pushing bullish, which is what we anticipate, that would be the next move. So first move is for a corrective structure and a continued bullish push up here to 107 and potentially 107.36 levels to break for new highs. Now let's speak on gold. we're going to talk about gold. Gold was an anomaly last week. We were able to capitalize on the buys on gold, roughly making around 20 grand on this gold trade to the upside, and we closed gold here at 1884. We ended up taking our entries around 1853, I believe. Let's see, it was in this 1 hour time frame. Was it 1858? It might have been 1858. Yeah, 1858.53. That was my entry. So 53, like roughly within this area, stops below this low here. And then our profit target being up here. We had, let's see, because I took this on, this was my trade. What it stops below. There. We ended up making a 1 to 11 on the first initial entry for gold, and then our second re-entry that we had sent out, we ended up making a roughly a 1 to 3 on that move there, after price had created a new high, anticipating it to continue pushing back up to this high up here. I got in at 72.4, I believe, somewhere within this range. We ended up making, like I said, a 1 to 3 and then a 1 to 11 risk to reward on those first two trades. After that, price formed a corrective structure following the CPI news, and then we seen a break of this key 1884 levels. Now, when we got a break of this level, price immediately pushed up. This on the daily time frame, if you take a look here at 1884, is where we had our previous low created, where we were expecting some resistance. That's why we use this as a target to for our trades. Now, what can we see for gold? Now we had this impulsive move up. What I would want to see for gold is a corrective structure to form and another push up for gold, clearing these highs here and potentially to push up to these highs here at 1983. So the first target will be from a corrective structure and then a continued push. I'll be looking to target 1940 levels. This is the level of demand or supply, excuse me, where I will be looking to potentially target for gold if we don't just get an immediate push to this level. If we do get an immediate push to this level, price breaks this level, we'll look for a corrective structure and a continued buy, and we'll look to target these higher time frame levels up here. So this is what we can see for gold, is initially a corrective structure to form, and then one more push up looking to target 1940 levels. EUR USD, as we are expecting the dollar to be relatively bullish this week, there's some key levels in the markets that we could see EUR USD take out. I want to look and target these levels here as well as the previous low here. And why are we targeting these levels? You can see EUR USD was creating higher highs and higher lows within this bullish wave on the 4 hour time frame. We then had that impulsive move to the downside. We got a corrective structure for EUR USD, a creation of a new low, breaking the previous low here. So we pushed down, corrective structure, created a new low. What I would want to see is another corrective structure to form for EUR USD and an overall break of this 1.048 levels and a break of 1.0456 levels. From there, we could see a steeper push up for EUR USD, but early on in the week, this is the first level that I'm looking for EUR USD to target. Now, I will switch my bias from bearish to bullish if we get a break of the previous high. Then we'll look for price to continue pushing bullish, but as of right now, all signs point to a bearish structure. We can see a corrective structure form. We can see this resistance here potentially hold and price push down. It'll be interesting to see how price opens. If we do in fact open with a gap or not, will determine. But there was so much volume, I wouldn't be surprised if price does open with a gap down here, following all the volume that we had. Now likewise with GBP USD, let's take a look on the 4-hour time frame. You can see that GU have been creating higher highs and higher lows within inside of this bullish wave here. Now the overall trend is bearish, and you can tell if we zoom out here, you can see that the larger time frame just has been creating lower lows and lower highs, and overall price has been going down. We see that we get this corrective structure and now a impulsive move to the downside, taking out all of our key lows within this slow structure here. We get this impulsive move to the downside that wiped out, let's say we had 1 2 3 4-hour candles, or four hour candles, excuse me, that wiped out, you know, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 4-hour candles of a very slow volume. That just goes to show that the sellers are in favor in this market, and we're going to look to sell, which would be a final target of here for price to potentially create a new low. Likewise with EUR USD, we want to see a corrective structure form, which we are pretty much seeing now. If we dial down to the smaller time frame, we look at the 4-hour, you can see that we are getting a corrective structure now here on the 4-hour time frame, and I would love to see the 4-hour potentially come back up to retest this key level here. This is one that I'll be definitely monitoring throughout this week, especially early on here. If we can get this corrective structure, I'll just be looking to take sell positions for GBP USD to clear out these lows here. And a couple personal goals of mine for this week: I plan on passing the phase 2 of a 200k funded account. I'm still in the process of getting my payout from the trade that we took last week. So once I do receive my payout, I'll get another account, which I'm looking to gain about 3% on the week, another 200k account as well. Now I also trade a couple different live accounts, so I'm trying to, which I trade them at a higher risk than I would my funded accounts, because I have more freedom, as you can say, with not trading any stipulations. I took a small $300 or $3,000 account and grew it $1,000 with just the re-entry trade that we took for gold that got us a 1 to 3 risk to reward. Risked about $300, ended up making over a little bit over $1,000. So my goals this week are to take the small accounts to 5 to 10k plus. That's my goal for this week. And GBP USD is where I'm looking to execute on that. So I'm also trading a 400k challenge as well, and I have a couple different other funded accounts that I'll be looking to take at low risk. I have some aggressive funded accounts, I have some moderate risk accounts, and that's just to diversify the portfolio a little bit. I don't take all of my trades on every single account. Generally speaking, the gold trade, I did line that up on all of my accounts just because it was such a great move with such a great imbalance to fill. I like to, if I know I'm going to have a winning trade and I'm confident in that trade, I want to make the most out of that trade, which is why we took the re-entry, which is why we, continue to scale in on gold and hold to that larger time frame target, because we wanted to generate the most that we could from this move here. It's not all the time that you have so much volume in the markets, and when we do have that volume, for us the volatility is good, because that means we can get our high risk to reward setups and we can get some potentially good payouts. So that's what I'll be looking for GBP USD. Those are a couple of my goals for this upcoming week. And I'm looking to crush those goals. Specifically for the 200k phase 2 funded account, I'm looking to pass it in one trade. First trade, I'm going to take it at a 2% risk, looking to get a 1 to 2 risk to reward, and that will go ahead and allocate me another funded account to the arsenal. So that's what I'm looking for GBP USD. NZD USD, for those of you who have been keeping in touch with our weekend breakdown analysis, I have been waiting for the past 2.5-3 weeks for this 0.5866 level to be taken out here for NZD USD. It's likely that we can see a gap down at the start of the market open, as we just had so much volume at the close of the market. We can see that this potentially has already been taken out. If not, In a perfect world, we will see a corrective structure first and then a continued push down. I think it's more likely that we get a break of this low here and then a corrective structure to form, but we'll keep an eye out on this move here. For NZD/USD, I'm not looking to sell it unless it breaks this level here or we get a steeper corrective structure. Otherwise, from current levels, I'm not looking to sell NZD/USD, only because it doesn't have as much of a range to fill to the downside there as you would say for GBP/USD or EUR/USD. So I'm not looking to, capitalize on any starting moves here for NZD/USD. I'll be keeping my eyes out for gold and GBP/USD specifically. Now, AUD/USD, likewise, we actually did get a break of the previous low though here on Friday, following that CPI volume Wednesday, carried the volume throughout, or was it Thursday? Excuse me, I think it was Thursday. So, yeah, overall, what I'm looking for is for a corrective structure. It's likely that we can see this level right here get corrected to, and then we see a steeper push back down. That would be my first move that I would look for AUD/USD. Likewise with NZD/USD, it just doesn't have as much of a range to fill to the downside. I would prefer a steeper corrective structure, potentially even buys on this imbalance getting filled back to the upside before I look to take sales for AUD/USD. But early on in the week, we could just see a correction to this level and a continued push down. If that's the case, I won't look to trade AUD/USD, but I will be keeping an eye on breaks of this low in a corrective structure. So those are really all the setups that I'm looking for, and like I said, keep an eye out for GBP/USD and gold specifically. These will be the, I think, best pairs to trade out of the pairs that I look at for this upcoming week, and we'll just be looking to continue riding gold. We caught an amazing move last week on gold, and we unfortunately closed all of our positions at this 1884, so we weren't able to capitalize on this previous move here. I was at the gym at the time that I seen gold had broke 1884. It was right in this level, and I had targets set at 1906, I believe. I believe it was 1906. Yeah, so targets of 1906. Let's look at it on a daily time frame. Yeah, you can see it there. I had a target of 1906 to get hit, and that target absolutely got blown through in a matter of seconds. I didn't even anticipate. I figured we would get one more corrector structure after breaking this 1884 levels we could execute on, but we in fact did not get that, and price just push ridiculously bullish, and this is heavily due to the war going on, and which is adding volume to the gold markets. Gold is a safe commodity that people look to invest their bread in, or their money in times of uncertainty. So we'll see big spikes on gold at times of uncertainty. I believe this move to the upside here was when was during the Ukraine war as well. So that's when you start to see super big spikes in volatility for gold, and specifically for gold to continue pushing up. Gold is an investor's choice, so if you look at the history of time, gold has just continued to increase in price, and that's what we'll likely see in the future, is gold to continue pushing up. So that's what I can see for this week. I hope you guys are ready to execute. Make sure you are abiding by your strategy. You're anticipating your moves. That's what we're doing now, is anticipating. We're going to wait for our confirmation, and then we're going to execute. All of the setups that I will be taking this week will be sent to the Telegram. So I will be sending prior to the setup, and then for the entry, the exact entry, stop loss, how much risk I'm going to be putting on, that will be sent to our premium VIP members. So for those of you who want to join the premium VIP, you can go to the Telegram, and it is pinned in our Telegram. Also will be mentioned in the link in this bio. So at the end of the, or the link in the description, excuse me, at the end of this live stream, so you can go ahead and check that out as well. So I appreciate you guys all tapping in. Just wanted to go through a quick rundown of what we are expecting for this week, and let's have a great week. Let's execute. Let's remain disciplined. Let's not get emotional, and we should be okay. So Appreciate you guys tapping in. You guys got 1% better today, and I will see you likely tomorrow.